Hello, now we're going to start applying some of what we've been learning about composition to more of a real life situation. I don't think you took this class so you could learn how to cut out squares and move them around. We want to start drawing real things and expressing real thoughts. The supplies you're going to need for today, for our first video, we're going to have two videos today, are your pencil sharpener and eraser. You have a pencil called an ebony pencil. It's not the gray color pencil. Basically, this is graphite, the same material you'll find inside a pencil. But this, what we call lead, or the amount of graphite inside is very, very large. It's also put together very, very soft. So it makes nice, dark, kind of rich lines to draw with. So it's in your bag. It's called ebony pencil. We also are going to need your viewfinder again. If you do not still have it, you can go back and find it attached to the homework assignment we're working on. And then you need one of the two worksheets I gave you. There were two of them. We're going to use one for the second video and one for this video. So you need this worksheet, as well as two pieces of the larger size of newsprint paper. Now, newsprint paper is exactly what it sounds like. It's the same paper they use for newspapers. You'll find definitely a few sheets in your folder. It has kind of a slick feel to it. It's kind of brown. It's made out of inexpensive materials, and it's basically paper that's for artists to use when they're kind of practicing or warming up. So we're going to do two drawings in this video, neither of which am I considering a major piece of fine art. We're just practicing some things. But one thing I want you to be very aware of is the outside of your paper. This is what you're containing things that this is your whole piece of art is contained within the borders of this paper, and composition is where we put these things. For this today's videos, we're using these two sample papers. Next time in class, we'll be drawing something that's real. What I'm going to do for the first drawing, stop the video if you don't have all these supplies. So I'm going to put my viewfinder on top of this. If you were here in the classroom, I'd have you drawing from a very complicated still life just because it's hard and you have to make choices. So from this photograph of a still life, I'm going to have you choose part of the photograph, even if you don't know what it is you're drawing. So this is going to be my drawing. You can see in my case it's vertical, so I'm going to change my paper to a vertical arrangement. And then the first drawing, what I'm going to do is I want you to think about, instead of starting a drawing out and it's like, okay, I can see this thing. Oh, it's pretty. It has little holes in it, and it's perfect, and it's shaded. And I'm working on make it beautiful. Let's say that's beautiful. And then, okay, here's something comes up here and here, and then this thing. And then all of a sudden I realized I placed it very badly on my paper. It really belongs down here, much larger. So I don't want you to start drawings by drawing a something and letting it grow bigger and bigger and bigger. We start a drawing by making a plan. So what I'd like you to do for this first drawing as you get started, you're going to say about what is the shape of something, about how big is it, about where does it go. You can see I have my thirds here, so I have this line coming down, about a third of the way down. Here's a line here coming across, something like this. Now you don't have to be doing exactly the same setup I'm doing. You can draw anything you've chosen from that. Excuse my phone. Here's my, I think this is a sponge down here. About how big is it? About where does it go? Here's this here. Now I have this fabric coming down here, here, and I think that's a leg or something coming in down here. And there's some kind of looks like an artist palette here. So this is really loose, really light. You'll notice it's not all that dark. In fact, maybe I should I'll try and draw it darker for you. But you can see about how big is it, about where does it go. So now I have my basic design for my composition. And you know what? I cannot make a compositional mistake now. Everything's there, about the right size. It's ready to go. So now I can go back into my drawings. This is a great way to start a drawing. I can go back into my drawing. So you're doing the same thing, and I can kind of refine things, improve their lines, get it looking a little bit more realistically as to what it exactly looks like. There's a little knob here. This is some type of easel. There's a line coming down here. What we're doing on this particular drawing is just kind of getting used to designing things. Here's the leg comes down here and kind of has a cap on it, but I'm comparing things as I'm drawing. The overlapping, so I know the sponge is right about here. I didn't have it exactly right the first time through because it's about how big is it, about where does it go. And then I can spend some time kind of drawing some of the details and maybe even use the side of my pencil for some things. And, you know, as much time as I want to spend. About how big is it, about where does it go. And so this particular drawing, we're just going to spend a few minutes kind of refining what we found. Now, some of these drawing techniques I'm teaching you, some of you, it'll be comfortable because you know what to do. You just get started. About how big is it? About where does it go? These are just abouts. Some of my lines are going to change a lot. Some of them might have been fairly correct the first time through. I have a piece of material here. It's hanging down. It's kind of wiggling. Comes down about where this is, but I don't think that looks good, so I'm going to change it. No one's really going to know, right? You have some artist discretion when we're working on art. I mean, I would hope so. And then there's something else, I don't know what it is, tucked in here that looks like this. And then my piece of material comes down here, folds around, there's something leaning on it, and it comes back up here. And then I can see this something is actually a palette. Comes down. So we're going to just kind of refine the drawing for a few minutes, go back into it, fix some things that we didn't maybe like, you know, but the approach was very loose. You can erase things. It's okay to have extra lines showing and you just get darker and darker as you're working. But if that is really, really hard on you to do that, then it's also okay to use your pencil and eraser. So we're just going to go through this drawing kind of quick because I have something else I want to show you in this video. So we have some kind of hole in here. So anyway, about where are things, about where do they go? Okay, the second drawing, what I want to show you, we're doing two drawings. You could draw a little bit longer, not too much longer. I want to show you another approach. It's still compositional. This time around, I really want you to look at the shapes that we have. So what kind of shapes are in our drawing? So I'm going to look at, maybe I'm going to look up here. Okay, so instead of thinking about what it is and getting all upset with what it is, I'm just going to break things down into separate shapes. So I'm still going to start, this one's horizontal, so I'm changing my paper to be horizontal setup. It's still going to be, pick this up, about, you know, I still probably use a similar thing. I have something, you know, about what is it, about where does it go. But this time we're going to try a different thought approach to it and see if that helps us get started. So I put in a few basic lines to make a plan here. Now what I want you to do is I want you to forget all about what you're actually seeing, and I want you to draw the shapes. Like this little piece right here is a shape. Look, it's right in the middle. It comes down like this. Okay, that's a shape. That's part of my drawing. Right under there, it's touching a shape right here. It looks just like this. It's a little bit, it's more here. It wiggles a little bit, and then it comes here. And there's a line coming out here, and something goes up and down. So I'm not thinking that this is a tape dispenser. I'm thinking that this is a shape. And here's another shape attached to it, and here's another shape up here. And this can really help you break down the drawing into separate parts and help you draw, help make your drawing more successful. So for the second drawing, what we're doing is we're breaking it down into shapes, separate shapes that we can see and we can tell what we're drawing from these shapes, and help us draw maybe more accurately. So I can see another shape down here. It looks like this, and it has kind of a round shape there. And I can see something here, and it's a round shape down here. So shapes, the second approach, is going to be really nice for drawing. I also made sure I didn't have a bad composition, because the first thing I did was draw a few little lines that were kind of light. I can see another one here and here, and something else is here, right about there, and I think I had another one, but I lost it. Okay, there's something here. I don't even know what this is, but it has a shape that looks like this. So I'll just include it because that's part of my design. So this can really be helpful in a drawing, to approach a drawing like this. Just draw things by the shape that it's creating. I want you to finish this drawing just by basic shapes like I'm doing, and then stop. Don't do any shading or anything. I just want you to practice this as a drawing style, to draw shapes, and then don't worry so much about what's in your drawing, but worry about just kind of practicing. Another thing about this is it takes all the pressure off. Oh, it looks like such and such, or it doesn't look like such and such, because I'm not worried about that. I'm only worried about this looks kind of like a triangle, and oh, it has 3 lines in it. And so I'm breaking it down into pieces that I can kind of tackle. So that's what I'm up to with this drawing. I'm almost done with it, and that's these first 2 drawings. One is about how big is it, about what shape is it, about where does it go, and the other one is actually working with shapes. Okay, we have another video you're going to watch after this video today.